What the heck?
Continue practicing, okay? Why don't you count how many? Mm-hmm. 2, 3, 4.
Oh.
Okay, so then you do 2 times 2, just like that. Okay? You do the last 2. You don't need to draw the entire graph, you just need to be able to fill in the spaces, okay? Raise your hand if you have trouble reading it and would like to have it read to you. Okay? Okay. If you don't know how to do it, just try to get it done as quickly as possible. Grab a seat. Continue practicing your math work. 401 o'clock. Mrs. Dutch class, I will give you guys a 5-minute warning, alright? And at that time, we will start shutting down our computers, shutting down our VMAT, so we can get ready and head over to her class on time, okay?
Yes.
We still have, my class, we still have about 3.5 minutes of time before we go over this together. That's right, yeah. So just fill in the rest of those blanks. Doing the same exact thing as you're doing the last 2. There you go.
What's the one like this?
Oh, time?
Oh,
This is good. We're doing 1 and 2. If you get past number 1, go ahead and do number 2. When we're finished with our time's up for our do now, we're going to go ahead and just review number 1. Okay? 2 is extra practice.
Mr. Law.
Got a question? Don't call out my name, please. Okay? Just raise your hand quietly. Yes, sir.
What is? How do you do it? How do you?
Let's. Wait, does that equal the answer on that side? How many apples are there total?
6.
So where's the number 6?
So just do that follow.
There you go.
So,
All right. So if you have 1 times 3, 1 times 3, how many apples are there total? Get it now?
so,
If you have 4, so press 4. How many apples are there total? Christian looks like he's getting the idea. Good. Is that last one 400 though, or is it, what's the number in the chart say? Is it 500, 600, 400? Did you finish number 1? Did you finish number 1? Go ahead and do number 2. Actually, practice. Try to get as far as you can.
Okay.
2 is kind of what we were doing yesterday, and what we're going to continue to do today. Good. If you want to get my attention though, raise your hand. Don't call my name, please. Thank you.
give it an answer.
For the second one? Show me the word. Because I'm confused. I don't know. So I didn't see the word. I can tell if you're right or wrong if you show me the steps and the work that you did. So you got time to show me the first part. Show me the first part's work. You got about 45 more seconds.
Okay, I'll do the second one.
Great, so much better raising your hand silently. Wow, that's awesome.
145.
Why don't you try a different number?
145. Okay, cool. Thank you, man. Thank you.
2, 3. Okay. Done. How you doing for us?
Mhm.
Got about 10 seconds left.
Ding dong.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. No problem.
All right. Cap the markers, please. We're gonna go over number 1 really quick. All right, we're just gonna go over number 1.
Mr. Mishwal?
I heard my name twice there. Told you I'd give Ms. Epps' class a 5-minute warning. But if we have a question for Mr. Wall, we don't say, Mr. Wall, you do a great job raising your hand, but you're still calling out when you say my name, correct? All right, so raise it silently. Christian.
Can we do it on the board?
Yes, sir. That's what we're gonna do. Cisco.
This keep on the internet?
Hmm?
This is one on the internet?
Yeah.
You see you keep like internet games on this?
Mm-mm. Stick with the math games,
Or
okay?
like math. It's like math.
Stick with the ones that are on there. Okay. All right, so we got 45 minutes today. We're gonna break this into 3 15-minute periods. We've had 7 minutes for our do now, so that means that we have, I've been talking for about a minute, so we have 7 minutes for our first wave. We're focusing on raising our hand without saying, Mr. Wall! Mr. Wall! Okay? Or, none of that, right? We're human beings, we don't make those noises, right? And if we accidentally say my name, that's still calling out. Even though we did a great job raising our hand, like I just explained, we're still calling out if we say my name, okay? So if you do have a question, we're focusing on raising our hand quietly, just like Rahid and Christian are doing right now. And we are waiting until we get called on. Rahid, you can put your hand down. I'm calling you right now. Yes?
Can I answer them? Can I write the first and the second one?
Sure, we'll read it together, and then I'll have each one of you guys go up and do it, okay?
Because there's only 3 of us, right?
Yes. So, yeah, Martin's not here today. Alicia has a summer job. She decides to save 10% of each paycheck. Complete the table to show how much Alicia will save. This is something that we could do too. So, if her paycheck, for A, they gave us the first part, is $100, she wants to save 10%. They converted that 10% into a decimal, which is 1/10 or 0.1, and they multiplied it by the amount her paycheck was, okay? And that was $10. So then they put the information, how much she saved, on the far right. Raheem, come up and do P for me. So she's saving 10% of, what's her paycheck worth? How much was her paycheck for? For part B, not part D.
Oh, 200.
Okay, so you're writing down the amount of the paycheck plus how much she wants to save, and what's that equal to? Good. All right. Good. Excellent. Okay. Good job. You're gonna leave me hanging like that?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Good job, Wall.
Christian, you wanna come do part C? Jorge, do you have a question?
It's $2,000.
First warning. Thank you.
I'm starting to get pain in my heart.
In your heart? Do you need to go outside and take a breath of fresh air? Do you need to go to the nurse? You do? Okay, Mr. Houston will take you down there, okay? Is it that bad where you have to miss class? Because you know when you're not in class, you don't get your points, right? Can you tough it out? Or you gotta go? Because if you gotta go, then go, okay? You gonna tough it up? Mrs. Up's class, we have a 4-minute warning. Okay, so let's start to shut down our equipment that we're using, whether we're on a computer, log it off. Let's head back to our desks. Thank you.
Hey, did you get hurt playing
Thank
football?
you for following instructions.
A little
Hey,
bit.
hey, if you get to the point.
Christian, good job. You went through the
If you
same
get to the point
steps,
where
you
it
put down
hurts
the
too
right
bad,
numbers.
you know, we'll go.
David is in the restroom, so you will not be able
What
to
happened?
see
It does
the
hurt.
Well,
parts that we're
wanna go
going
see
over.
if she can.
I did see that you got it right.
Let me know,
though,
we can
so
go if you want.
I'll do part D for us, alright? So if her paycheck was $500, and she's saving 10%, I'll multiply it by the amount that her paycheck is for. Multiply by 10%, that's converted into a decimal, that's 50. So she saved $50. Alright, so let's look at these 4 paychecks too before we move on to our lesson and objective for the day. Do it in your head. How much money total did she save over this 4 paycheck period? Do it in your head and then raise your hand if you think you know what the answer is. Thanks for working quietly. Yeah, hold on to it. Shows ownership, right? We can put it in the bank at the end. Trey, come have a seat, buddy. 3. How much money did she save over that 4 paycheck period?
110.
110? Christian, give him a thumbs up if you agree with him. Give him a thumbs down if you disagree. Why do you disagree?
Because there was no cents. He said 110 cents.
No, he said $110.
Oh.
Hey,
wait.
Trey, good job. Have a seat.
Oh.
That $9 for you. So is he right? $110? Yes or no? Good. All right. I'm going to dismiss Mrs. Up's class one by one right now. I'm looking for students in student right position. Trey, do you have your point sheet? You're staying with me. Sorry.
Our point sheets are
Cisco, you can go ahead and line up. Be careful on your way up. Don't trip over anything. Still looking for the other 2 students in student right position right now. Stay lined up. Joe, you can line up.
Okay. Supervision.
I'm recording.
Thank you for lining up quietly. Okay. Remember, heavyweights, right?
He's going in the restroom?
No, it's a deal that we have.
Oh, I know what it is. It's a movie.
How much you know?
It's a movie thing.
Oh.
Thank you for walking.
Oh, this is
Why is he recording us? Why?
Hey, what's up, yo?
Alright. Our math objective for today is to figure out problems and solve them correctly using simple interest. Okay? We've already been over the first part of this. We figured out how to find what the interest part was, right? Using multiplication. Go ahead and go off for me, please. It's an appropriate language.
I didn't say cuss word. I said
Thank you. Christian. So, that first 7 minutes we had 3 call outs, okay? Yeah, we had 2 call-outs, and then we just had a cool down, okay?
That counts.
So, out of the 5 minutes that we can earn, potentially, we earned 3. Okay, so that brings our total up to 37. And our lion dollar total is still 4 from yesterday. Okay? Yesterday I took you through the steps to figure out if we didn't know what interest was, okay?
It's over in the steps.
Today we're going to try to figure out what interest is we're going to try to figure out what the simple interest is if we have interest, but we don't have the interest rate percentage, or if we don't have the time,
You go to Miss Epps?
or if we don't have the principal,
Take your.
okay?
Yeah, take it.
Have a good math class, okay? Let's go through a quick reminder. What is principal again, Christian? David, let's go, buddy.
Original amount.
What is the original amount? Yeah. That is what?
Principal.
Yeah, principal is the original amount that is what?
That one is
No. For in our equation, what's principal? What's principal mean again?
original amount
The original amount what?
of the
Is it borrowed? Is it lent out? Amount of money that's what? That's lent, right? Or borrowed, right? Good. Rahita, are you ready? So, we're going to go through the steps that involve the division part. We went through some exercises and activities yesterday that dealt with figuring out interest when we didn't have interest. Today we're going to go and use that same formula, except we are going to be not having principal, or the rate, or time. Okay? And we're going to try to solve for that using it that way. I'm going to take you through those steps today. Okay? So let's open up our math books to 6-6. Let's see who can get back there quickly. Let's see who can get back there quickly.
6-6.
Clear.
Love your excitement, guys. Let's make sure that we're staying a little quiet. Okay? All right. And we went through all of these problems using the interest. Using the simple interest formula, but trying to figure out what interest was, right? Yes or no? If you agree, give me a thumbs up if you agree with me. Yeah, I agree too. We went through that. Now, we're going to get a problem, example number 2, where we don't have the rate, and we need to find what the rate is, okay? And remember, the rate is the percentage that is tacked on to the principal that we're going to have to owe over the period of time. Okay, so if the rate is 10% over 1 year, and you borrow $100, the interest is going to be $10, right? 10% of 100 is $10, correct? So that's how we use the interest rate. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the steps the same way that we did yesterday. I'm just going to label this multiplication. Okay, because we needed to find out what, or you know what, this is division, right? We already did this one. I showed you this example at the end of yesterday. This is division, right? So we have our interest. We'll do this one that's on the board right now, okay? We have our interest. They gave us that. They didn't give us a principal, which is the original amount borrowed. We have our rate, and we have our time in years. Time is always in years, correct? Yes. All right, so we're going to go through. We got our formula right here. Interest equals principal times rate times time. And the first thing that we need to do is convert that percentage into a decimal. 6% is equal to 6/100ths. And now that we have converted it, we can plug that number in down here into our equation, okay? Remember that we are putting in the numbers exactly where they go. The mistake that I saw yesterday was that we were putting in the numbers in all the places, but they weren't the right places. And when we put numbers into wrong places, the numbers that we're trying to figure out aren't the numbers that are right. So, I see I, or interest, is equal to 120. That's what they gave us, right? So I put that in where I goes in our formula. P, we don't have P, so I'm just leaving it as a variable, correct? Rate is 6%. I have already converted that to 0.06, so I'm going to use this. No longer am I using the percentage, okay? I'm using the decimal. So I plug that in there. And then finally, time is T. And they give us that way in our book too, okay? So I plug that in there. I do all the multiplication that's necessary on the right side of the equation. I keep my variable, 0.06 times 5. I've done that on the board here on the side. That's equal to 3/10. And I put that next to my variable. Now I want to get rid of this, so I have to do what is the opposite operation. The opposite operation of multiplication is division. So, division, I divide 0.3 or 3/10 from both sides. I have to do that to the left side of the equation as well. And when I divide 0.3 by 120, 120 by 0.3, I end up with $400 for my principal. Okay? We're going to go right into our examples. We're going to be working in partnerships again today. If our partners and ourselves have different numbers, then we are going ahead and talking with our partners and discussing why did we get different numbers. Let's try to figure it out so that both of our numbers are the same and both of them are perfect. Okay? You remember that from sign language, right? David and Christian, I'm going to have you guys work together today.
Oops.
Yeah, this is perfect. I bet. Yeah, that's right. You're right. Good job. Good reminder. We are going to do problems 3. Excuse me, we're doing problems 4. We already did problem 3 right there. And we're going to do problem 8. 3 and 8 together, okay? I'm going to give you guys the next 15 minutes to work together to figure out the correct answers, all right? Figure out what the missing values are for number 3 and number 8 on page 330, okay? 3, 8. Good question.
So it was rate, do we have to divide?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Because if we don't have rate, Christian, David asked a really good question for Heath. I know you're back there listening too. Are you ready to come? I'm going to work with you one-on-one, okay? We're going to work together to figure this out. Okay? Can you come back to your seat, please? Thank you for cooling down effectively. You need to leave that chair behind with you then. It's on you. You need to leave that behind. Thank you. David asked a really good question. David's question was, do we have to divide for rate? And yes, we do. Because if we don't have rate or year, time, it's the same thing if we don't have principal. It's just a different part of the formula on the right side of the equation that we're trying to figure out. And since all of these are being multiplied together, you're eventually going to have to divide to get rid of the thing on the right side of the equation. Sit down, please. Okay? Alright, so David, Christian, go ahead and get together. Yes, please, David, so that you can work together with Christian, okay? Christian, what numbers are we doing?
3 and 8.
3 and 8. That's correct. On what page?
330.
Very good, thank you. Okay,
No, it's
Raheem,
not 330.
let's do this.
That's not cartoons, messed up.
No, I don't want you to die. I want you to follow instructions. I'd like you to get on task. Because you've done a lot of tasks so far today.
I'm gonna step here or like right there.
I've seen you have worse days. Alright, so we're gonna do 3 and 8 together. I'm gonna grab a whiteboard so that we can work on the same things together. Huh? Number 3? Hey, you know what? I mean 4, not 3.
Yeah, 'cause it's the same one up
3 is the
there.
one that we just did on the board. Oh my gosh. You almost got away with it.
Man, I didn't even know
Damn,
that.
I shouldn't have said it.
Number 4.
So number 4 and number 8. Miss Leslie is gonna help you guys out. I'm gonna work exclusively
T.
with Raheem here.
I need to do.
Miss Leslie,
Okay.
remind these guys to go through every single step. They should have at least 5 lines,
Okay.
starting with the initial formula, okay? So let's start off with the numbers that we have for
Go ahead and
number
copy the
4.
column.
Well, we can't do one number one, cause there's
So
no.
for number 4, we have
That's what you're supposed to find out.
is equal to 2.
That's what you're
But look,
supposed to
then we
find
can't
out.
do number one on that.
That's what you're supposed to find out.
It says it.
It's dividing.
P.
I know, but I'm saying we can't do step one,
I mean, step 1A, because there's no percentage.
R
So we don't do
is
that
equal to, we don't
Okay,
know.
so go ahead and
So that's
put
gonna
I.
be our variable. And then T
240.
is equal to 2 years. Did you write that down? Let me see that you have it written down. And then I'm gonna put number 8 on the back side. The quicker that we get this done and you can show mastery of it, the more free time that you guys are gonna earn for yourself. So that you could do it without thinking about it. Like how good you can do your multiplication, for example. So
Are you
So this is what we're gonna try to do with this too. T equals 6. Okay. I'm closing my book because it has the answers in it.
So David,
Did you get all the information done? You.
Okay, so
also that does it? So we're doing this. Um,
240.
what's P?
So you got it all done? Is this your cap? Did you get them both down? Answer any question you like here in your free time. Right now we're doing our work, okay? No problem. You have it all written down? Okay,
Step 1.
take your time.
Step
I'm not rushing you, I'm just making sure that you're staying on
So
this.
do you have 240?
Number 8.
Wait, we have to change
Equals
it.
4,000?
We have to change it. Step, step 2 has to be this one, but we don't have it. David, which one is it? Which one is it? Goes on step 2.
What do we do first for step
So-
1A?
It'd be like this.
What's it say?
Equals and then what's.
Convert percent
We
to
don't have a
decimal?
decimal, what else do we put?
And then go to step 2.
There is no percent. Okay, so then we don't even need to do parts A, 1A, right?
Okay.
But 1B we need to do, right? We need to plug in the values into the formula. So we'll just skip down to 1B.
200.
So I, right, well, what's I equal to? We have I, 240. So it's 240.
4,000.
What comes after the 240?
Okay, so then how do you
our
Out of
formula.
your sum or
Let's look at our formula right here on the board.
zero,
I.
where did you get the 120?
Well, what comes after I?
Or, there, positive.
Yeah, I know, but what's in between I and P?
Equals?
So go ahead and put that number, and then put the equals.
Okay, so what's the next step? What are you trying to solve for?
What do you
Okay, we
want
still
to
have
do here?
15 minutes, and we got another 5 minutes for our
So
exit
break
ticket,
down
okay?
the C40
We did a little bit better, we did have a couple call-outs though still, so we
equals-
earned 4 minutes there, we got 41 minutes. Remember when we get to 75
Okay,
minutes
what's the next
total,
step?
we got a pizza party. Yes. Okay?
Wait, don't we have like,
Good
like
questions, Amos?
15 more?
You can raise your hand if you have a question, okay? You guys earned $1 line there, so you got $5 line total.
What's the next step after here?
Don't we got like 15?
Let
What
us-
did you
Okay,
recall?
Times
right now let's just
I can't say this.
let's get through this stuff first,
He
and
got
then we'll
3.
talk about it, okay? Like in the cafeteria.
Oh my god. 5 times this and this.
So you got that? Good.
800.
Let's substitute that box for something. What should
Oh,
we
so
put
it's-
instead of the box?
Question?
David,
Not a question
for
mark.
1B, right there
What's
where
something
it
else
says
that we put? What do we put in
$120
terms
equals
of
B
the
times
P when it was
0,
missing?
3
We didn't use a
0,
question
6
mark, did we?
times
What do
5.
we use?
Like this?
for that one right there.
One
So what
David.
do you
Go
multiply
down to
first?
step 1B.
So this.
4,000 P and.
Yeah, I know, but what did
You
I use?
multiply
We didn't
P
have
and T
P
from
in
one
that
to
example,
B.
did we?
Or you multiply the percentage times the
Yep.
time.
That
You
is,
multiply this.
no, we don't have.
And then it's just,
Don't you multiply
it's just
4,000
solving
by
the
2?
equation,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, that's what
Multiplied by
And then
R,
the
Okay,
answers,
and then-
multiplied
R.
by the year,
Just
is
like that.
2.
And then how do you
You
get
got
rid of
7
the R?
correctly, very
Multiply
good.
by itself.
Okay, let's put that on our step 2.
And it cancels each other out.
We don't do anything on the other side, do we? Okay, not yet, at least. 240. What's 4,000 times 2? Okay, so 8,000 times R. Is there a different way that we could write 8,000 times R? How did I write when I multiplied those two together in step 2 down there?
240 divided
With
by
P.
8,000?
What did I do instead of doing? What did I do though? Did I get rid of the times sign, the multiplication sign? Well, not yet. We're still setting it up. So,
I was supposed to do this.
what do you put in place of the?
Divided by.
Did you
Let's
follow
get
the
this
next step? Let me see what you do.
Yeah, multiply. Well, multiply it. What's 2,000?
So
What's
you
4,000
multiply
times 2
4,000 times 2,
8,000.
right? And you got 8,000. Good.
times R? Okay.
Why do you have that here? Hold on. Are we skipping steps?
Well, the next step,
You update it.
we do
Okay,
3.
so then bring down
It's
240
240, right? Equals
equals
8,000. We still have our dollar sign there, don't we? We still have your dollar sign? Bring it along, okay?
Okay, don't forget your
Let's
dollar
carry
sign.
those labels.
Okay, so then you solve those two, right? 4
Alright.
times 2.
Where's the
your
R?
R?
That's it.
Remember when you're
That's
doing
our
this,
first.
here's a
Right, I
simpler
know
way.
it's our
You don't
first.
use any times.
So then what's the next step
Just
that you have
get
to
rid
do
of
after you
X.
multiply this
Or
and this?
the multiplication sign. Yep, 8,000 R, right? So it's the same
Alright,
thing,
there
isn't it?
you go, okay. So
Alright,
it's gonna
so
be
we got
8,000 R.
Now,
So then we put equals
what do we gotta do that's
8,000.
opposite of this?
R, and don't
To get
forget
rid
your
of
money sign.
this and get R by itself. Good. What do you divide?
Okay, so then how do you cancel
On this
out
side.
R?
Close. You got the numbers
How do you
right, you just
cancel
said it
that out?
wrong.
How do you get rid of the 8,000?
240.
Because remember, you're trying to solve for R.
Divide
There you
8,000 by 2.
So let's write
So
that
hold
out.
on. So right here, you're gonna put your
Let's
division
show
sign
that.
on both of them.
And the 8,000 on the right side,
then
cancels out
8,000
the other
here.
8,000, right?
And
Like
the
that.
8,000 there,
So you just have R left now,
and then you solve.
right? Because you have to divide both sides. No, no,
Try
no.
that again.
Look,
Give us a whole bunch of-
what's your goal? You want to get what by itself?
Okay.
What do you want to get by itself?
Don't
Yeah.
forget your.
So divide. No.
You to figure out what
You're right.
240.
No, no, no.
8,000
Okay.
8,000.
So do your math on the side, okay? Because that's like that's the next step here,
On the side.
and which is
Yep,
not.
far?
That's not the
Good.
next step.
Now you wanna get R by itself, right? So to get R by itself, yes, cause the 8,000, what's 8,000 over 8,000? 1. Yeah, very good. And whatever you do on that side, you have to do on this side too, right? Okay, so this is cancel each
So
other
I'll
out,
put
you
the
just
number
have R now.
240
And
times
then
something.
the answer is R equals
Do your math.
240 over
Multiplication.
8,000. Is it okay to leave it as a fraction like that? Yeah, we gotta turn it into a percentage, so let's go through the division. On the side here, we can use the side. Is it 80%? Let's go through it without just guessing, okay? Trust me. 8,000, 240.
Go ahead and put it.
Add in whatever extra zeros you gotta do. Okay?
Not there because you're getting how
How'd you
many?
set up
1,
your
2,
division?
3.
Problem. Okay, that's the first step, right? Scoot it over.
Alright, so that's 7 by
Good. Scoot it over so you got a little more room to work with. What goes on the outside? 8,000. Whatever's on the bottom goes outside the house, right? Whoever's on top gets to stay inside the house,
that becomes a 10.
right? You see? Whoever's on top gets to
That
go inside
becomes
the house.
7.
Well, what number doesn't matter. There you go. Can 8,000 go into 240? Well, you don't just add zeros, you gotta put a decimal point there, right? Don't forget that. Why? Can 8,000 go into 240? Can it go into 2,400? Can it go into 24,000? Next step, just float that percentage up, straight above where it should be. Okay, 0, 8,000 goes into 240 how many times? 0, that's right, 0 times that, 0. Let's go to the next one. Does 8,000 go into 24? Or I mean, 2,400?
From the T. 0,
No.
9 take
How many
away
times does
2.
it go into?
What's 9 take
No,
away
it's
2?
that.
What's 9
It's
take
10.
away 9?
How about 24,000? How many times does 8,000 go into 24,000?
Okay, you have
So
8,000.
leave right there.
Okay. And that's 2.
What's 3 times 8,000?
That's 3. It's
What's 3 times 8,000?
720, right?
It's not
0.
like that.
It's gonna keep
That's
going.
10.
It's not written. It's
It's
like
gonna keep going. I don't see that's gonna stop.
So is that your percent in decimal form?
it's like that.
Is that your percent in decimal
Because
form?
it's
Yes or
supposed
no?
to be like that.
Alright, so there it is.
So that's you get those
Can you convert that back into a
Minus
percentage? What is 0.03 as a percent?
Because you're supposed to say 8,000
Awesome.
is too big of a number, so you start
So,
together.
R was
Well,
equal
you start
to,
from this side. You forgot your division already?
just like that.
Can 8 go into 260?
That's all you need.
None.
If you want to test it, you can. Would you like to check your work?
Is too
It's
big.
240.
Go ahead and check your work, plug it in.
Because that's only 80. 800 and 200.
Just plug in 0.03 where R would
Many
go then,
times,
right?
you said 3. That's why you have the 3 here.
Then it keeps going forever. If it,
Hmm?
it's like that then.
So then you say 0 take away 0 is what? And that turns into
What is it?
10, right? 10 take away 2 is what?
Good. That's it.
And
Sweet.
that turns into 7
Alright.
0.
That's number
Leave that
4.
at 0.
Now let's do number 8. Okay?
204.
This time you're gonna lead me.
900. So you know
You lead
that's-
me, so you
Alright,
take me
4.
through the steps. Where do you plug in each number?
That would be 0.
Skip 1A, right? Because that's what we're trying to find out.
16.
Good, yeah. So what's the equation?
8.
Okay. 364 equals
3.
50,000. Okay, so 200 800, good.
Snitter's going just,
Did you bring your dollar sign, or are you not? You're
That's it.
gonna be-
Okay,
bring
next
your
one.
money. Okay, times
It's alright.
R, good.
What's the next one?
Uh-huh.
Are you guys on 8 yet?
We're about
We're
to be.
about to start.
What was the answer for number 4, Christian?
I don't know, I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't get it?
Cause if it was times 240, divided by 800, it would've kept going forever.
Was it 800 or 8,000?
Yeah, 8,000.
8,000? Well, it doesn't go on forever now. We'll get together and we'll go through it, alright? We'll try to tackle your common area, okay? Keep working on the problem that you're doing right now, okay?
Wait, 8?
Which is
Yeah, number 8,
Oh,
okay? So step 2, we got this together,
I
right?
got it though.
Okay,
Miss Wolf,
Good job, David. What did you get? What was your answer?
33.
Wasn't 33.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. What was the percentage?
What the percentage?
Yeah, what was it as a percentage?
I think
What was the answer that you got? Let me hear. It's okay if it's wrong. I'm not mad at
Well,
you.
that's what I got.
Oh, it was 33%? Okay. We'll go over it together then, okay? Go ahead and try to work on number 8, alright?
Well,
okay, so why
Go
don't we
through the
put
steps.
ours over here so we can work
Do the
together?
steps, please, okay? Keep working. So what's our next step? Sorry.
Okay, so copy that formula.
Like I said, continue doing this. Is there any question that you have that's appropriate? What's 13 times? Okay. Don't do it in your head. Do it on the
So you
side.
have I
Is your number in your head?
equals
No. Do it in your head.
364.
What's 1300 times 7?
P equals 1,000.
Do it.
Don't forget
do
your
it in
money
head,
sign.
please. I'm trying to make mistakes. Silly mistakes.
no, equals 1,300.
Don't forget your money sign.
P equals 1,300.
Stop after you're done with the right elements, okay?
Okay.
David, hold on for us, okay?
Yep.
P
Step 3 now.
money sign 1,000
What's it look
300
like?
equals
Do you want to simplify that?
R
Okay. Very good.
equals
Does yours look like mine? You're telling me what to write. Does yours look like mine? You forgot the left side of the equation. Always follow the steps, okay? Now, how do you get R by itself? How do you get R by itself again?
equals T
Tell me what's right.
equals 7.
Good. Do you have to do that to the left side?
Okay, so what's the first step that we're supposed to do?
Yeah, you're good. Alright, so whoever's on top
So
goes
I
in what part?
Plug
Then
in
we just do
I,
the division,
don't
right?
forget your money sign.
91 cancels it out, that equals 1R.
What we do?
You carry your money sign
Okay,
all the
so we
time.
have R by itself.
Mhm.
Now
Your
364
money sign
over
is how much?
9100 or 9100 is,
No, the first one.
we can't go
Sorry.
like that.
One.
There's no one, that's I.
Whoever's on the
For
bottom
interest.
stays where?
For interest.
Outside or inside the house?
Number one, number 1. There's I.
Yes.
Yep.
I
So flips. Mhm.
or
Mm-hmm. So we have 120, right?
Okay.
Equals 6. We don't have, we're trying to solve for R, so we don't have the percentage. What we do have is the interest, and the interest is how much? What is the interest?
364.
Okay, so copy your money sign and put 364. Okay, do we have, P?
36,400.
Yes.
What is
Say
P?
it again.
1,200.
Money sign 1,300.
That'd be 4,200,
Then we don't have R
Four?
times,
Okay, so let's
times,
see if that's a
R.
good number. 4 times
You got the wrong one.
number
Right.
8.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing number 8.
Yeah, we're doing number 8, and this one up here.
So
Yeah,
what's
that's
4
one.
times
Oh,
that?
so we don't have R. We don't have R,
4 times 1 is what?
so then put R,
What's 4 times 9?
like right times R, and then times years,
Why not 4 times? 4 times
which is how many years?
7.
7.
4.
Okay.
Alright, good. Are we left with any remainder? Okay, so what's our decimal?
Where's your equal sign here?
You don't need it for
Okay.
here.
And then
'Cause
what's
that's-
that
that's
as
the-
a
Look
percentage?
at 1B. You see 1B?
Sweet. 2 for 2, man.
You see how you have right here?
Does it make sense now?
Do you see
Okay,
how you
good.
have an equal
I'm glad
sign?
that you, I'm glad that
Okay.
you
So
fought
that's
through it.
what we need to do.
Because yesterday you kind of were quitting on me, but today you're working hard. I appreciate that. Alright, so we're gonna take 5 minutes to go through these 2 examples here, okay? We're gonna go through, which one did you guys struggle with more? Number 8 or number 4? Which one was more confusing?
Both the same.
Both were the same? Okay, so the most important part is just following the steps, okay? I'm gonna set this for 5 minutes, okay? Because this is how long it should take to get through this, and then we're gonna try one by ourselves, okay? David, you can go ahead and turn around, head back to your seat. Did you guys discuss with one another and try to figure it out?
Do you want
Yes
me to
or
do
no?
another one?
Raheem, I know that you got it, so I'm gonna ask you to do number 10 this time. Okay? Alright. David and Raheem. David and Christian. Let's start by getting all of the information, all the facts on top, okay?
Mr. Watt, do you want them to copy it or as you're doing it?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so go ahead and put your board, please.
Okay, so, David, go ahead and tell me what number 4's information was. What was interest for number 4?
I equals $240.
$240, okay? So this is what the top of our whiteboard should look like. What was principal for number 4, Christian? What was principal for number 4?
$4,000.
$4,000. $4,000, okay? All right, how about the rate? David, what was the rate?
Right, we are translating.
Okay, so big question mark for rate. And then finally, Christian, what is the time?
2 years.
2 years, okay, so T equals 2 years. All right, first step. You got all that information down? We always put all this information at the top. This is our legend. This is our reference guide. Do you have a question? Are you finished?
No, how would you multiply it if it's just
What's 7 100ths times 5? Do it like it was normal and then go through your how many decimals are in each one. Remember?
IV.
All right. So we write down our equation next. I interest equals principal times rate times time. Now, Christian, what we need to do. This is the biggest focus. All right. We plug in the numbers correctly. This was our biggest weakness yesterday, was not plugging in the numbers right. 240 goes into I, right? Because I equals 240. So that's going to be on the left side of our equal sign. Did we do that correct during our guided practice? Okay, good. P, we have P, right? So let's substitute that number for where P is, 4,000. Remember to carry along your dollar signs too. I forgot my 240. Next, let's put our multiplication sign. R, we don't have R, David, so let's use a letter for a variable that we don't know. We don't know R, do we? So we need to find R. Okay? So let's keep that right there, just like that. Then we will go through and substitute time in 2, where t is, for 2. Now, next step. Step number 2. Or excuse me, step number 1, 2, 2. Step number 2, simplify all these numbers. We can't simplify anything on the left, can we? No, because it's already just one number. Okay, so we'll leave that exactly the way that it is. 4,000 times R. What's 4,000 times R, David?
1,000 times R equals. I don't know what R is. So.
If you had one R and you
Wait,
multiplied
no,
it.
it's 4,000 R.
Good, yeah. Okay, so what's 4,000 times R, Christian?
4,000
Good. All right, what's 4,000 R times 2? Christian, thank you.
8,000 R.
Good, yeah, 8,000 R. All right. This one was kind of easy that we could have done in our head. Normally, I would really like to see you guys do the multiplication on the side, just like this, okay? Okay, 8,000 times R is 8,000 R. Keep pushing on. We still have some extra time. I gave us some extra time. Next step. This is just back to our solving what variables are, right? Back in like February. Our goal is to get the variable, which is the letter R, by itself. To get that number out of the way, 8,000, what do we have to do? We have to do the opposite what?
We have to divide.
Why? What is going on in this?
So we can get the.
What's going on in this? What operation is going on right now? In this side of the, this is division?
Multiplication.
Multiplication, right? 8,000 R is 8,000 times R, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So in order to get rid of the number, we have to do the opposite operation. The opposite operation of multiplication is division, okay? So I'm going to divide this side of the equation by that number. 8,000 over 8,000 is equal to 1. 1 million over 1 million is equal to 1. 1 over 1 is equal to 1. So now these cancel each other out, and we just have R. Are you ready? You're finished?
I think I got it
So
wrong.
R equals 1.
With the money sign.
Look at the answer.
It's
check
like
it.
multiplication.
Is
R
it the same?
equals 1.
It's,
So R equals 1 there.
I got it.
Do I have to do the same thing on the right side as I did, or on the left as I did to the right?
Yep.
So I need to divide by $8,000 on this side. So now I have 240 over 8,000 equals R. We can't leave it as a fraction. That's no good. Okay? So like I was telling Rahid, let's do this over on the side. Let's do the division on the side. Whatever number is on the top always gets to stay inside of the divisional house. Okay? So when we're drawing our divisional house, the number on top always goes on the inside. Okay? The one on the bottom always goes on the outside of the house. Whoever's on the bottom, gotta stay outside. Alright? Can't come in. So, 8,000. Does that go into 240? Shake your heads. Yes or no. Does 8,000 go into 240? No. So we gotta add some zeros, right? So I'm gonna put my decimal point there. I'm gonna add 1 0. I'm gonna make this division line a little bit longer. Alright, how about now? Does 8,000 go into 2,400? Shake your heads. Yes?
Oh, no.
Think about it, okay? Yep, no. So we gotta add another 0.
Yep.
Now, does this number go into this number? Yes. Okay. So, the decimal point floats straight up. Okay. 8,000 does not go into 24, does it? No. Does it go into 240? No. So it goes into it 0 times. Let's try the next number. Does 8,000 go into 2,400? No. Still too small. Let's put another 0 in there. Does 8,000 go into 24,000? Yes. How many times does it go into it? Christian. How about we both say it on 3? 1, 2, 3. 4. I
Wait,
heard 3 and 4.
wait.
How many times does 8,000 go into this number?
Oh, yeah.
3? 3.
I missed
3.
that. I
It's
was
okay.
thinking 6.
You got excited. So it goes into it 3 times, right? So let's go through our multiplication. 3 times
That's 3%.
0, 0,
3%.
0. 3 times 8 is 24. Is there a remainder? Nope. Those cancel each other out. It's equal to 0. R is equal to 0.03.
That
Or-
equals 3%.
Slow down, okay? 0.03 or 3/100ths? Are we done yet? Yes or no? No. We need to convert that back into a percentage. Dealing with our conversions, 3/100ths is equal to 3%, right, David? I heard you saying it, right? Yep. So our final answer is R equals 3%. Did you see where you made the mistake and what the difference was? Yes or no, David? Christian? Okay. I'm going to ask both of you guys to do number 10 for me in the book. That is your exit ticket. Okay? You're going to show me that you could do number 10. It's not going to be rate. It's going to be principal, but we're doing the same thing. We're following the same steps. The variable just changes.
Oh, okay.
You got it right?
Like, here's a word called.
Okay. I want you to move on to word application.
Hold on.
So you gotta do number 5. Can you do it and gather the important facts from words and then write them out correctly? Okay. So what? Yeah, do number 5 for me. Can you show me how you set it up first? David and Christian, I'm going to be hovering around you guys here in a minute, making sure that you're going through every step. Go through the steps. Okay? Read it over to me.
7%.
Read it. Read the problem.
NT equals 5.
Okay. 5 deposits 8,000.
Well, that is understood for you.
How many will it? How long
Okay,
will it
now
be?
the formula is right there.
Okay? So the
Don't
interest is what?
under rate into that's
What's the interest?
right.
Is it 10,000?
6%.
Sure about that?
7% will be
Okay.
okay.
Let's try to go through the
Here,
principle.
now
What's
we're
the
ready to
beginning
plug it
of
in.
that?
So I equals money sign.
This.
P we don't know. So equals to
R is, what's the
It's the same one.
R?
Oh, yeah. I thought it was.
And then what's
then
T?
your next step is
T
to
is
do what?
question mark, right?
You're
So
not,
we're
are
trying
you
to
doing
find what
something
T
to
is.
this side?
Okay, before we move on, it
So
says,
this
look,
end here,
before the total amount is 8,000 or 10,000. You're saying that the interest is 10,000, so the total would be,
you solve before.
and that's 8,000, not 8.
So P times that is gonna be what?
Alright, so you're saying the total amount then would be 18,000, right?
7P.
But they're asking for 10,000, not 18.
Do it on the side.
They're asking for 10,000, right? When the total is 10,000, right? These together would be 18,000. The total amount is this number plus interest equals that. So what's this number plus this number to equal this number right here? What would this number be? Yeah, good. All right, now go ahead and do your bit. Okay. I'll come back in a minute. We have, I'm gonna give you guys 3 more minutes, okay?
And then
So
Bring it
Our
down.
timer went off right in the middle of our work.
Cody, bring it down.
I'll give you guys 2 extra bonus minutes, okay? We're working a little bit longer than we should have, okay? It's 43.
Oh, yeah.
When you're finished, just raise your hand and I'll collect your board. Put your initials on the board too, although I know what your handwriting looks like. You guys did really well today. We went from not really knowing how to do this stuff in every single way to doing it pretty well. Okay? I like the way that you guys have improved in setting up the equations, setting up the problems. Mr. Emerson, do you mind standing outside and just making sure that my students line properly?
Okay.
Yeah, really fun.
Okay.
There's a decimal here. And do that decimal.
Dun, 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 dun. Bless you. Cash out your line dollars right now. 3, 4, 5. This was from yesterday and today. Awesome work, you guys earned 500.
Just would you need to discuss or
What'd you say? You have a question? Oh, what's up? I guess it's before school and at lunchtime, and it's by appointment only now. So if you want to go to the school store, you gotta set it up with Miss Cricket.
So
Do you have your work done? Okay, focus on that first, and then we can talk about that all day long.
2.
When you're finished, do not erase your whiteboards. Turn in your whiteboards to me, so I can check your work and see that you're making the necessary steps to mastery. When we all own businesses one day, we can use this interest principle
6 plus 1,
to collect money
7.
from those who borrow money from us.
Did we just
Sweet.
try 3?
What do you gotta do to this? No, do that to that.
13. 3 times 3 is what?
Hold on.
Close.
It's
Right
9.
idea.
1.
What you gotta add right down here?
3 times 3 is
Ah, wait.
9 plus 1.
Hold on, let me do it.
You move it here, you gotta slow it down. Where's the decimal place right now? Down here. Where's it right here? Oh. Correct? Yes or no?
And that's it.
And is there decimals?
Then
Yeah.
and
No. That stays exactly the same. Where's the decimal place go? Floats straight up, doesn't it? Just like right there?
these
Floats straight up. Where's the decimal point now?
0.
Well, but
You
there's
moved it.
Yeah.
You moved it.
And where's your money sign? So
Did
over
you?
here.
Yes, you moved your thumb.
So money sign.
Look, you moved this twice over here again. Oh, it's down there.
P.
Okay, so now,
Hold on.
move your hand, please.
It's back
Decimal
there.
place is right there. What is just turn that
Yeah,
45
we got the P.
So what are you trying to find? You're trying to find the principal? And that's what the number was?
Circle it. So he knows
Good.
it's the answer.
Are you happy with that
I'll
answer?
go in it.
So put down P equals to what?
Oh, it's going anywhere.
Okay. Are you forgetting something though? Is that 13,000 goats? Or 1,300 goats? What is it? Okay. We're dealing with money. Alright.
I saw goats yesterday.
That's
Yep. Circle your answer.
Done.
Initial it.
I put my name.
Initial it. Or put your name. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Cup on myself away. There's a wall.
Alright, so I'm going to dismiss.
Have our free time.
We don't have free time. Student.
Are you a little?
I know it. Cause I brought like my paper.
Big numbers going on here.
Uh-oh, Mr. Watson is scared. Dun, dun, dun. David's died.
What do you think?
That's
Go ahead and just put your name on it, and I won't erase this, we'll finish it up tomorrow, okay?
Mr. Wall, our end of the day isn't till the 25th.
So, I've heard my name 3 times. Our overarching objective behaviorally was not calling out. Using our arms to get our attention, okay?
You wanna put this away?
Academically, I think we came really close to our goal today. What do you guys think? Give me a thumbs up if you guys are pretty comfortable now solving these types of questions. Reed? Stay seated. Give me a thumbs up. Are you comfortable? Yeah? Good.
Except for the last one.
So academically, we met our goal, I think. We're going to continue practicing this tomorrow. Behaviorally, do you think that we met our goal of raising our hand and waiting to be called on? Or do we have quite a bit of cause? Give me a thumb sideways, up, down, diagonal to down. Thumbs up?
Different answers.
You think we did good behaviorally? Overall, I think we did well behaviorally. We didn't have any crazy behavior, but we still need to focus on raising our hands because one of the reasons why we're in the school is because we are calling out, and that disrupts the rest of the general education classroom, right? So we're going to continue to focus behaviorally on raising our hands without adding in, Mr. Wall, or ooh, 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 okay? Because we're humans and we have dignity, don't we? Yeah. But good job, okay? I'll dismiss you. Raheed, you can go grab your point sheet. You can line up, okay? Go ahead, stand up and go get it, and you can line up. David, do you have a question?
What are we supposed to have?
Like I said, we could discuss that at the end of the day in the cafeteria.
Okay, and
Okay.
can I have my free time?
You can buy free time as soon as you get everything ready that needs to get ready. Christian?
Can I get my punch sheet in my backpack?
You sure can. Thank you for being patient and asking.